Yeah, thanks, Sheila. I mean, I guess my thoughts are that, you know, trying to, understand this from a kind of a climate change perspective. I guess that was the framing thinking around the conversation. I mean, the way I would look at it is, there are, there's a big task to do to ensure a just transition in Scotland. There are definitely opportunities that are going to be coming from government investment in some of the, let's say, the hydrogen hubs in Aberdeen, or some of the offshore electrification work, and there will be work that will be generated through these investments. But there'll also be the kind of challenge to transition. I think of Aberdeen and the many thousands of people employed in the oil and gas industry, and the transition challenge that city faces. And so, I think it's difficult to give a catch-all answer, but to me, it comes down to what can you do personally, and what can you do corporately, and what can you do nationally. And not many of us have a national influence, but most of us have a personal and a corporate influence. So, I would say, there's a lot you can do to role model the right behaviors. There's a few books being published recently about climate change, and it almost feels like there's extremes where people say, yeah, we can change the world if we all act in a certain way and behave in a certain way. And then there's other people who say, well, it's technology that's going to save us. And it doesn't matter what you do as an individual, because you're so small, you're such a small part of the equation. And I actually think, we need to be role modeling it to our kids, our neighbors, our friends, our communities, and trying to invest in better ways of working, and trying to, be more sustainable in our private lives. A couple of small examples. I stopped using the plane to travel to London in January 2020. So I was taking the train down. It's not a big deal. I was experimenting. I enjoyed it. And so when COVID hit, I've not traveled since, but I was trying to minimize that footprint. Plastic cups, I decided in 2019 not to use any of the kind of Costa coffee cups, but always take my own cup when traveling. And just tiny little things that we can do as individuals that create an opportunity for conversation. And then corporately, I've had the chance to do quite a lot corporately around my role, but I think part of that has been because I wanted to do that role. I kind of had the opportunity, and I've now leading the energy transition for Wood, and that gives me loads of opportunities to try and influence, I guess, corporate conscience, and awaken the corporate conscience inside of Wood, and get it to think really seriously about the future, and wake up effectively to where we're going. But we're all different. We've all got different networks and influences, and I do think it's a bit of everything that we need to do. Sheila,